It is Monday. You know the time changed all across the world except for Hawaii, but that's okay. It's also free agency world in the NFL. There's some changes, Chico. I told you they were going to let Tua go. We got a special guest, head coach Jackson with Prairie View, checking in with us. It is the Morning Run.
Runners, mount up on this good Monday, 3/9/26. It's going down in a major way. Shout out to everybody from the East Coast to the West Coast. It's the biggest dog, Chico City, and the place to be, coming to you live and direct from the middle of the ocean. Got my main man, Uncle Neely, with me. He's out there in the middle of America in Boulder, where it's colder, and he's getting busy. We got a special guest today. Y'all stay tuned for that. We're also going to be talking about some current trendy topics and news and things of that nature, but we definitely have a legendary show for you guys today. Unc, what's up?
Man, it's all good in the hood, man. Week 1 is behind us in Colorado football. Let's count them off. 1, 2, 3 practices in the books. Got 3 more coming this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for practice 4, 5, and 6. Then we're going to a little spring break and start that thing back up, all culminating with practice 15 on April 11th, a.k.a. the spring game. First week, Chico, no doubt about it, a trying week for the players and staff and families and friends of Colorado football. Shout out to the Pounder family. Excellent memorial service took place on this past Saturday. Also last week, with the 3 practices taking place, had special guests in from Prairie View A&M, the SWAC champions, Tremaine Jackson and his staff and athletic directors, administration department was in town. So a lot to unpack there, Chico. In fact, he will be joining us live on the show this morning.
Excelente. But before he come on, let's go ahead and talk about some practice, things of that nature. That's you've been able to witness since you've been back in Boulder now. Just talk about the overall vibe on these first 1, 2, 3 days.
Hey, Chico, you know you day that you got to do my lottery numbers. Chico, I ain't gonna talk about practice till you do the lottery numbers.
We gotta talk about practice. They don't want to hear.
We're gonna sit here then until you do the lottery numbers. I ain't saying that.
You need to talk about practice right now. You got 15, 35, or 45 seconds to get this shit going.
Man, even without what this team faced this week, I don't know if practices could have gone any better. When you add in what they had to face to actually practice, decided as a team on Sunday when they got the news about their teammates' untimely to death, to still decide to practice on Monday and keep the same schedule, high tempo, high energy. I love what I'm seeing from this new staff, from these two new coordinators, especially their energy, their ability to instruct, their ability to connect, their ability to measure what matters and take it back to the film room. And then from the drill to the field is what you hear Coach Chris Marr, defensive coordinator, say a lot of times. So I don't think, man, that the past 3 practices could have, gone any better as far as a week 1 is concerned. There was talk out there, chatter in the talking head bunch about, there's no way you could lose at DC a couple of days before spring practice where it started not have an impact. I didn't see it. I didn't see it, Chico. And that's not biased talk. That's eyeball talk. What I saw taking place was a spirited, detailed practice in spite of the circumstances that was on this team this week. So I'm really looking forward to what rolls out in the week of installs for practice 4, 5, and 6 taking place this week.
Man, big time. We got to get more into that because I know, you've probably been just as impressed with Coach Marv as I have, or anybody has who's been watching some of the footage with his energy. Not just him, but also Coach Marion. Another retry. All of those coaches have been showing a lot of energy and emotions out there and passion while dealing with the young guys. So we're going to talk about that even more, and we're also going to get the opinions and thoughts of big Coach Tremaine Jackson, Houston native, and what he thought about being up there in Colorado. So, whenever you're ready, we can bring him on.
Well, let's get ready to bring him on. Here's the man with the plan. He is the reigning SWAC champion, out of Prairie View A&M. Chico didn't just win here, won at another level. That's back-to-back championships on 2 different levels. He was just here in Colorado. He brought the snow with him, Chico. It didn't snow all of February, but he pulled up and started snowing. Coach Tremaine Jackson, welcome to the movie.
Shout out to Coach Tremaine Jackson. What up, Coach? How you doing?
How y'all doing, fellas, man? Good to be here. Thanks for having us.
Yes, sir. Appreciate yes, sir. Couldn't think of starting this week without you because we ended this past week with you.
Yeah.
Coach, if you will, man, first let me say this again. Congratulations on your championship and what you did there in Prairie View in year 1. But just talk to us about, man, what led up to you guys making this visit out here to Boulder.
Yeah, man. You know, I appreciate that too, Neely, man. Man, Coach Call, he reached out and congratulated us on what we had done. You know, we walked in this thing, man, and had to do a complete turnaround. And Coach told me how much respect he had for what we did, and so he said, man, if I could ever do anything for you, just let me know. I said, well, Coach, actually, man, I'd like to get out there and come see how you're operating, come see how you're doing things, sit down and talk to you about what you did when you were in our league and then how it's carrying over to now. And he said, man, anytime you want to come, let me know and we'll set that up. And so we ended up getting our dates together on our end and making sure we didn't leave our team, but we found a date that allowed us to still take care of our business here and still get out there. And man, it was a phenomenal trip, man. And we're still decompressing on the notes and things that we got from out there. But Coach didn't have to do that. And Coach Prime allowed us to come out there and visit. And I wanted to visit somebody that looked like us. And I wanted to visit and see how somebody that came from this league is doing things on that level. I know a lot of people on a lot of committees. Man, we could have went anywhere in the country if we wanted to, but Coach invited us, man, and Coach looks like me. And so I wanted to make sure we saw somebody that looks like us doing it, and it was a phenomenal trip.
Yeah, I mean, it's the networking that I witnessed, you know, taking place. And one thing I'll say about it, Coach, it really became a two-way street. We were learning, you know, so much from your staff. I got to spend a lot of time with your general manager. I think it's titled Chris Williams. So I had good meetings with him on the media relations stuff. And it was just good to see that fellowship of brothers and coaches taking place. I was blown away. I didn't know y'all were bringing that many people, including your AD. Yeah. I just thought it'd be you and maybe your DC and OC or something, but you brought the whole family.
No, man, we brought, you know, we left a couple of coaches here because they had to handle the fort. But I wanted to get as many people in our organization out there as we could, because sometimes, man, we can talk ourselves out of doing things that don't cost much. But because we think they're doing it at the Power 4, we think it costs all this money. And, man, we need to be around new ideas, creativity. I think you guys do a phenomenal job on social media and with podcasts. Neely, I've been watching your stuff for a long time, man. And so it's kind of, I wanted to get out there and get around it, make sure we had all our ducks in a row and see what ideas maybe we had that you could use and what you guys had that we could use, because the sharing of information is vital to success. And so we wanted to make sure that we were doing that at a high level. There is no coach in the country and no coach in the history of the game that combines big business with college football like Coach Prime. Nobody. I don't care who you are. I don't care how many national championships you won. We've seen a lot of ball. There's nobody that gets it done like him. And so we wanted to be a part of that. We wanted to see how he made that operate.
Yeah, good stuff there, Coach.
Coach, how hard was it? I was going to say, how hard was it, pause, how tough was it to decide and pick the coaches that was going to come? Because I know all of them wanted to go there to Colorado when they heard the news. So how hard was it to choose the ones that was going to stay back and take and control the fort?
You know, it wasn't very hard. We had coached in the Legacy Bowl 3 weeks ago. And so I took half the staff to the Legacy Bowl, and those that I didn't take to the Legacy Bowl came with us to Colorado. And so that way both staffs have been able to do something. But, you know, those guys, we brought every coordinator in our building. We brought, you know, our support staff didn't get to go anywhere because they wouldn't, you know, we didn't need them at the Legacy Bowl. So it wasn't very hard. There was some disappointed faces. There were some faces that wanted to get out there. But ultimately, everybody in our organization knows if we go somewhere, we're going to come back with a plethora of notes, and we're gonna come back with a plan to get better. And so, you know, those guys are sharing information. They've been sharing since we got off the plane, and our group chat has just kind of been going crazy about some things that we either confirmed that we were doing in a good manner, or either some things that we picked up from being out there. And so it's been fun.
And just to let the folks know, Chico and Coach, this was not just football with the head coach and the OC and DC meeting with their counterparts. You had Prairie View's equipment staff meeting with Colorado's equipment staff. Prairie View's training staff and medical staff meeting with Colorado's medical staff. Game day operations, media, social media teams, podcast productions. Everything that's done here, there was somebody from Prairie View's in to interface and just had those discussions. Because like you said, Coach, you opened up with, people would be amazed at not only how little some of this stuff costs, it actually defrays money. Because you look at the social media stuff and the impact that can have on a recruiting budget, or the lack of having a recruiting budget, because everybody got a phone in their pocket. And everybody posts, you know. So those kind of conversations that took place, can't forget the NIL conversations that took place. I think everything was timely, man.
Yeah, no, it was good. And it was, I can't say enough how beneficial it was to our organization with us just being in year one. So, man, we had to come in here in year one and tear all the pictures off the wall, change the culture, change the players. And so now going into year two, since our culture is going in the right direction, we're able to really focus on some of those things. And so I try to be very calculated with how we do things in our program. And the time was right for us to come out there and find out some of this other stuff, along with, man, Coach got two really great coordinators in Brennan and Chris Marr, man. And to get some ideas from those guys, they've been around the block a few places, to get some on-the-field ideas that can help us in our league play from a football standpoint. We're not going to go visit no football coach, don't come back with no plays, man. We're gonna come back with something. But it was just so overall beneficial. Most of the time when we do those visits, some people stick us in a room in the back and let us watch film and maybe ask some questions, but they want you out of their way, really. And not everybody likes those type of visits. Man, Coach gave us the opportunity. I was standing off to the side. Coach like, no, come get on this field so you can see, you know, whatever it is you want to see. I don't want you to miss nothing. And that's not normal. Some people would say, well, why you don't go to this place? Man, that ain't normal. The access is real. And he gave us a lot of access. And in our profession, that's just not a normal deal. And so I'm forever grateful for that, because even when people come visit us, I'm kind of like, hey, man, stand to the side. I don't want to get you hit. Coach like, man, nah, y'all get up in it. Any position, any way you want to be. And it was just so beneficial for us.
Yeah, you know, I'm an eyeball witness that, Coach. Y'all were, your coaching staff, whatever their counterpart was, they were with them in the huddles. They had the script for the day, you know, had the timeline for the day, and saw how practices managed, you know, from warm-ups to stretch lines to group teach to Indy. And your staff, like, you couldn't tell, other than y'all having on purple, you couldn't tell who was good, you know, who was in there.
Yeah, no, it was good.
Coach, a little bit other than football now, because you talked about, and I'm sure you've learned and seen a plethora of things around the football game. Talk about when you walked in and seeing all the signage everywhere and just the branding and things of that nature, and what you took from that.
Yeah, man, signage matters. That's what we came back with. What the players see every day, what recruits see when they walk in the building, that stuff matters. And you know that as a coach, right? You know that it matters. But when you walk in the door at CU and see all of the signage, you walk down that hallway with the 2 Heisman trophies and all the individual awards that are won, I kind of put myself in a recruiting mode. Oh, man, they probably sell this hallway a lot. You know, it's just one of those things, man. You got Thorpe Awards, you got Heisman's, you got all of the college football awards in that hallway. I actually got reminded of some guys that played at CU that I had kind of forgot about. CU used to have a really strong Houston connection. And so there's some guys from Houston on that wall, man, that I forgot played there, but it gives you that feel. And so then when you turn that corner to go in that locker room, man, you know it means business. You know they here to win, and you know that based off what you see in that hallway. And so I was really impressed by that. We're going to certainly try to do some things from that magnitude in our building. But here's the deal, man. That a lot of that stuff, the way Coach got the schedule set up downstairs and all that, that don't cost $40,000.
Right.
That's I could do that at my house.
Yeah.
And so, man, it just kind of showed us, and like you said, our AD was with us. Sometimes when people don't want to do something, they tell you that you can't do it because they're doing it at this place and they got all the resources. Well, we were able to verify in that hallway, which we already knew, but what we were able to confirm is, man, these are little small projects that just take great creativity.
There you go.
In order to get it done, and a lot of want to. And if you want to get it done and you're creative with it, man, you can do anything you want to do. I call it the $5 store. Man, there's a lot of things on that wall that's just $5. It's just you just got to be creative enough to put it all together. And so, man, it really, that signage, when players get in a rut, they need to be able to look up and see this is the requirement. This is the standard at our place by walking down the hallway, going to get something to eat. And so we're certainly going to do that in our building, man, because I think it'll help us.
Yeah, I love it, Coach. Like you said, when you walk in, you see the history that is taking place here, so you know it can happen. And then when you enter through those double doors, you see all those, for lack of a better description, motivational quotes from Coach Prime that take you to the locker room. Then when you're coming from the locker room, it's like, all right, now are you ready to enter here? This what works. So it just all those things just reset your mind as you're going room to room. And as you said, man, it's not something that's, oh man, it takes $3 million. It really just takes, somebody saying we're going to do it. And from my time at Jackson State with Coach to here with him now, one of the things I love about him and I have adopted in my life, don't come to me with that saying, well, we've always done it this way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like if you run up on Deion Sanders and say, yeah, but Coach, but we've always done it this way, he's going to tell you, well, they got you. Let's start doing it this way. Like you can't come to him with a no. You have to come to him with a solution.
Absolutely. Man.
Love it.
It's been good.
So because I want to rewind a little bit and go through your season that culminated with a SWAC championship. You were a champion at your previous stop. Clearly ball. What was it about Prairie View, HBCU, and the SWAC that you said, this is where I want to plant my flag and change the program?
Yeah, man. I'm from Houston.
Shout out to the North.
And so, I'm from Acres Homes in Houston, right? So like it's a black college in the neighborhood, right? And so when the opportunity came up, I had said, Neely, so I wasn't coming back to black college. I ain't coming back. I'm on that side of the tracks, and our career was kind of going in a way where we had some options, man. Like it just was what it was. You had a place like Valdosta State, and you win. Everybody that wins there gets options. And so when the Prairie View job came open, man, I was walking out of the local chicken joint on a Sunday, and I got a call from the search firm, and they asked me would I be interested in knowing more. And I'm like, well, you really ain't much you can tell me because I'm from Houston. But yeah, sure, man, I'd be interested. And so as the guy called me that night and gave me the rundown on who our AD was and said, hey, Tremaine, just have a conversation with him. I'm guaranteeing you're going to like him. When we had that conversation, I became more interested because sometimes, man, a place alone ain't good enough. It's got to have the right people. So everybody pass down 290 and be like, man, if Prairie View A&M ever get it together, they're gonna be hell on wheels. Well, that's true, but it ain't true without the right people. And so before the conversation with our AD, Anton Goff, I still wasn't interested. I'm like, man, I ain't going over here struggle with no money and do all the things that you hear and the stereotypes that you hear, right? And after I got off the phone with him, I went, man, we're not gonna struggle. We got a chance. And then I did some research on the roster. And when we took the job, I knew that we had an opportunity to be successful if we did it a certain way. And we came in with fresh ideas. I'm not saying we got all the answers, but we got most of them based on our career. And we knew how to maneuver in Houston. And when you know how to maneuver in a major city, and a lot of my family went here, I ended up playing at Texas Southern, but I ain't never beat Prairie View, so I felt like a Panther anyway, right? When I was at Texas Southern. So we got here, man, and it's been everything that we thought. We've had our struggles, we've had our issues, we've had the things that we've had to work through, and the people's minds that we had to change. But I knew if we got this right on our side, then we'd have a chance to not just win in the first year, we'd have a chance to lay a foundation and win every year. And so now, Neely, when the grass is cut in August, as many people that might not like it, you're gonna talk about Prairie View A&M in the championship conversation. And we were able to have a really good year. I tell people this: we lost the Celebration Bowl. Had we won the Celebration Bowl in year one, we would have cheated the process. There's a lot of people in year one that can't win 8 games. There's a lot of people that won't have a winning season in year one. For us to come out and win the SWAC championship and be the first away team to ever win the SWAC championship was huge for our program. We wanted to win the Celebration Bowl, especially after being up, but really it was good for us. And I always try to look at the things that help us later on. It was good for us because we need to learn how to finish. We had gotten lucky on some things before. But now everybody in our program is focused on finishing this fight. And in that year, man, that year let us know that if we believe it, if we do what we say we're going to do, man, we got a chance to win every game and every year and make Prairie View A&M an FCS power.
I love it, Coach. A couple of things jumped out at me. One, let me give you this quote from my good friend Sap Daddy Warren Sapp. He taught me this lesson. He said, Neely, in life, don't choose your job, choose your boss. Because who you work for and with gonna have more to do with your happiness than the job ever will. And I was like, man, you just touched on that too, because you said it was ultimately conversations with the AD that were like, okay, I can work with this guy.
Yep. Because the AD matters so much, man. Like the comment that our AD made to me that stood out was, hey, man, I'm going to put my career in your hands and you're going to put your career in mine. And so now what that says is, all right, man, we need each other.
Yeah.
You ain't going to be so quick to tell me no, and I ain't going to be so quick to come and ask for some outrageous because we need each other. And, man, that relationship has ever been so true. Anton Goff is not just my AD. He's one of my better friends, man. Like we're friends, but we're both in it for the betterment of players. And so in young people. And so, man, it's been a really great relationship. Our president is awesome. She loves football. She loves athletics in general. And when you got vertical alignment with those 3 people, you have no choice but to be successful. At least it ain't going to be on them. And I'm saying it ain't going to be on us in football. So we got to win. And we were able to get that done.
Well, I'm gonna lead you up to this question because I got to get my I told you so in there. I was watching your press conferences when you first got announced there. And I was sitting with Big Dog Chico, and we had Charles Bishop on from inside the HBCU Sports Lab. And I said, Chuck, if this brother who's already proven he's a winner, if he can do 50% of what he's saying year one, I'm right now, Prairie View is going to win the SWAC. I said, because he reminds me of somebody who took over a program year one and won the SWAC because they didn't come in with a football mentality. They came in with an organizational mentality. So we got to fix this from top to bottom, that everybody that's going to touch these kids has to have a winning mindset. Talk to me, Coach, about where you developed that from and taking over this program and understanding the importance of it's everybody.
Man, we had Colorado Mesa, right? First head coaching job. We're in COVID, and that's why I watched y'all at Jackson because we weren't doing much in COVID. Y'all were playing the spring season. I really started paying attention to Coach Prime. And the president of Colorado Mesa, some of the things I was asking for, he was like, man, you remind me of Deion Sanders. Like you in here talking and asking all these things. Do you know him? I'm like, no, Coach, I don't know him, man. I just think this is right? And so we looked at that and we did it a certain way at Mesa, ended up beating the number 3 team in the country. They had never done that. We get to Valdosta State and I started listening to other people. I listened because it was, they had done so many things. They had just played in the national championship. It was what it was. And these people kept telling me, all you got to do is just do this, and then you'll take care of yourself. Y'all will win because y'all talented. Neely, it ended up being the worst year of my career. And I made a decision in December of 2022, after finishing 5-6, that we were going to do it my way. And the way that I thought was right, regardless of whether it was right in other people's eyes, the way that I thought was right. And the way that I thought was right was to be very bold in my faith, to be very upfront with what we're going to do. We define discipline as doing what you say you're going to do, because most people aren't disciplined because they don't do what they say they're going to do. So if I say something, we're going to get that done. And we're going to go through all the channels to make sure that gets done. And in 2023, we won. 24, we played for national championship. So when I got here, I knew what the blueprint was for us. Man, I wouldn't have said something if I didn't think it could be true. It's more than coaching, and I think a lot of people in our conference miss that. It's good to have good players. It's good to coach them on the field so we can talk about how good we are silently as coaches. Because at the end of the day, coaches want to make sure people know that they're good too, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But for us, man, it's about developing and pouring into these guys, telling them the truth, because that's the obligation I have as a coach, but making sure that everybody knows where we're going, how we're going to do it, and what it takes to get it done. And so we simply just told everybody, we're going to walk in here and we're going to Atlanta. Don't look at me funny. And I understand what it takes to go to Atlanta. That means we have to win the SWAC. Well, before we can win the SWAC, we got to win the West. Mm-hmm. And so we started knocking those things down as the season came. And so we developed it back then, and we know it's true now, because every time we stand in front of a microphone and say what we're going to do, that's what we get done. And so, man, it's tried and true. And I just thank God, man, for having that spirit to be able to be bold. Because we get told all the time, especially as Black men, we need to be humble. Well, I'm humble, but I can still tell you what's about to happen. Like, I don't disrespect anybody. And so many people get mad, Neely, because we're confident in what we do.
Yeah.
But that's just what it is. Just like I'm telling people, we're going to win it again. And we're going back to Atlanta. We're going to finish the fight. If you don't believe that, that's you. We're going to line it up. We're going to line it up here real soon. And so we developed that at Mesa, man, having a plan, sticking to the plan. And it got challenged when I went to Valdosta, and it didn't work. So we'll never not be bold and confident in what we believe in.
Man, I absolutely love that. The truth can rub a lot of people the wrong way.
Oh,
and
man.
you can run some people off with the truth. And that's what I want to talk to you next about, Coach, because in this recruitment era that we're in, particularly with NIL, the world loves a lie. And I used to, man, just totally rock with your tweets and your Instagram posts when you were like, look, these are the facts. Don't call my coaches nothing other than coach or their last name. Don't wait 5 days to hit me back. Don't ask me about NIL. Like, you just ran down a list that most coaches would be like, oh, no, you could think that, but don't say it. You're going to run your recruits off. Why are you so brutally honest with the process?
Because I'm not scared of them. I'm not scared of them, and we've won with least talented people. We've out-programmed people to championships. So I believe more in the program than I do whining and dining you and recruiting, standing on 360s, dancing with you with hats on backwards and all that stuff. Man, that's not the truth. The truth of the matter is life ain't all fun and friendly and full of gummy bears and butterflies. Life is directed in your face, and life will beat you down to your knees, and you're going to need to know how to get out of that. And so that's what you're going to get here. You're not going to get all the gear. You're not going to get all the texting you how good you are. You're going to get the God honest truth. And you'll be surprised how many kids actually want that. Like, they want to be told the truth. They want to know that somebody's going to look out for them post-football. It's good to talk about how many championships we're going to win, but what about when you have a family and a wife and a wedding and you send me the invite? Am I going to come? And the truth is, I'm going to come. I'm the godparent of more kids that I coach. I really should get godparent child support filed on me because I ain't done a very good job of it. But will I ever hire you? If you tell me you want to coach and you play for me, will I hire you? Yeah, I got 3 guys on staff now that I've hired. So we're going to tell folks the truth, because the lie always comes back around, and that's why the portal is popping. The portal, a lot of guys in the portal have just been lied to. Either it didn't go their way, or they've been told that it was going to go a certain way, or led to believe that, and then, it's a lie. Whatever we got on campus is what we got. We ain't gonna lie to you about the housing. We ain't gonna lie to you. We ain't gonna take your meal money, chop it up, and call it NIL. That's your meal money. We ain't gonna do that. We're not gonna tell you those lies. And some people do, and it works for them. But for us, what we have to do is be very honest, because if we lie to you, you're going to interrupt our program. And I don't want the program interrupted. The program is moving in a certain direction, in a certain way. And man, I don't have time to lie to you. And then you come back and get me and go on social media and talking about how much we lied to you. We ain't got time. We're about building men and women, man. We got young women in this program. We're about building those people for this thing called life. So I ain't gonna lie to you. Some people get mad at me on the front end, bro, because if I follow you and you on your phone all day, and it take you a couple of days to follow me back, you're not interested.
Yeah. What we doing?
And that's cool that you're not interested, because now I know not to be interested. And I'm okay with taking the hit. Okay, he ain't interested in me. He ain't interested. Just like when I was in high school and I wanted to date the pretty girl, and I slid the note over and she never slid the note back. She's not for me. She's not for me. But who is for me and for our program is for our program. And those are the guys that we've been able to be successful with. We're not a sexy football team. We're not cool. We ain't loud in the pregame. We just here to beat you up. We ain't got time to be all cool and pretty and all. Man, we're here to beat you up.
That's right.
And so, that's our program. That's what we're built on. And then the second part to that is, I can't lie to you about something that I know I don't have. Man, we didn't have NIL my first year. We didn't have it. So you coming up in here asking for some money. If anybody getting any money around here, dog, it's going to the food. We ain't doing that. So I'm not going to tell you something that I know and write a check that I know you can't cash. And if you look at recruiting today, a lot of people are doing that. And then they call us back and go, Coach, you was right. Yeah. I didn't have no meal money, but I had $600 a month, but I had to spend it on Popeyes. Well, I mean, you just want some money every month. And I told you that's what was happening, because a lot of schools on our level, and you guys know this, they're not paying what they say they're paying.
Absolutely.
There's so many lies going on our level, especially, until people are taking your Pell Grant money, man, and calling it NIL. Man, that's the Pell Grant. What are you talking about? And so, but kids want to hear that so bad, they tell them what they want to hear. Well, here's the deal when you tell somebody what they want to hear. When they find out it's a lie, and it's 3rd and 1, you don't know how hard they're going to go. Right. Because you lied to them, and that's the place they can lie to you and you not even know it.
Right.
So we just choose not to do it that way.
Ooh, boy,
y'all wake up out there. This is the Morning Run, TMR Live at UNK CHICO right here. We have Coach Tremaine Jackson right here on the Morning Run. Y'all get in the chat right now. Let us know if y'all have any questions, comments, or things of that nature. Coach, I want to go stay right here. Go ahead, Unc. Go ahead, Unc.
I don't know. My mind blown, because I don't know which one is bigger for me, your 3rd and 1 analogy or only passing one note, because Chico passed about 5 notes. Every day that week, she going to respond to one of these.
There's a word for that, though. There's a word for that, though. Some people might call it crazy, stupid, dumb, but I think she might call it, he's so persistent.
Yeah.
You might get it in, but some people be like, you know what? She ain't for me, dog. I'm going this path, and this is what I'm doing. Yep. That's all right.
She'll always come back, though. Once she sees the success, they come back.
She'll come back. There you go.
And that's what's happened in this past class, right? Everybody we slid that note to before, y'all 5 and 7. You come back and got that trophy sitting behind you. They slide back. We call it the double back.
What about the pretty girl, the recruit out there that's been looked over, Coach? You know what I mean? And they haven't been slid a lot of notes, but they deserve those notes. Yeah. What do you tell those guys, and how could they get in contact with you if they need to?
Well, first of all, with us, man, it depends on how old you are. Let's just go on, call a spade a spade. This is not an 18 and up club at Prairie View A&M. Wow. This is ain't no X's on back, ain't many X's on back of the hand around here. This is a 21 and up club. We recruit older people. and we recruit older people because it's just the nature of our game. If I walk a bunch of 18-year-olds out there, man, I'm not going to be here very long. And the average fan can say whatever they want to say. The high school coach can say whatever they want to say. I did a study a couple of weeks ago with some high school coaches. I said, hey, man, if you had a chance to get a move-in 11th grader or take that kid from your middle school, which one you going to take at the same position? Well, I think I'll take the move-in 11th grader. All right, so don't ever say we don't recruit high school kids and things of that nature, right? Because you don't recruit middle school kids. You don't like middle school kids over 11th graders. Everybody wants more experience. That's why guys don't come out of college being head football coaches, because you need experience. People need experience, life experiences, professional experience. People need experience. And so we prefer on this level of ball to get experience. And we take some high school kids, the ones that we think can play for us early, right?
Right now, yeah.
That's it. And here was the deal. After the Celebration Bowl, we had 36 seniors. So I'm starting to get calls like, who's that kid? Who's that kid at safety for y'all? We probably going to go after him, Jack. I'm just letting you know. Well, you can't go after him, dog, because he done. You can't poach me if they ain't got no eligibility left. So it's twofold for us. We get a kid all ready to go, and then somebody come in and snatch him. Then what are we left with, right? And I'm all for kids transferring up, but I'm not all for them transferring up on my dime. Like, I want to be the up. We're going to go get some Division II players. I want to be on the up. And so to keep our program going, to keep our program moving, man, that kid that you're talking about, if he coming out of if he a sophomore in college, or he coming out of junior college, or transferring up, or transferring something from somewhere, we interested. We tell him to call me.
Wow.
Call me.
Okay.
Hit me up on X, and I'm going to hit you back. But have that tape and them transcripts ready to go.
Right.
If you ain't got that tape and them transcripts ready to go, we're going to have an issue, man, because I ain't got time to get all that stuff and wait on you. We're moving at a high rate right now in recruiting, so you got to come on with it.
But for that 18-year-old high school kid, they might need to be thinking about the junior college route to go prove themselves, show themselves on film, or come walk on.
Or come walk on. We take walk-ons. Like,
yeah.
I tell high school kids this: if you got a chance to go to a good D2, go do that. Go get some experience at a good D2. I'm all for junior colleges, but the rules are so difficult for them to get out of junior college. Got to have this math, this English, this science. And sometimes, depending upon where you go to junior college, those things might not transfer to Prairie View A&M. But if you go to a 4-year school and transfer up, I mean, man, we pretty much take everything off a 4-year transcript. So that's another area behind the transfer deal that the average fan doesn't think about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
Here's the other deal. At Prairie View A&M, it's 3.25 for a high school kid to get in. It's 2.0 for a transfer. What's more beneficial for us?
Damn.
Preacher.
You know what I'm saying? So everybody's on this talk. These high school kids, they not getting a fair shake. Well, get a 3.25. Instead of talking about they not getting a fair shake, get them some tutoring. Because we don't have a lot of 3.25s that are good football players that we come across. Those guys are normally gone to the bigger schools. So for us, don't want me to play with lesser than. We trying to win too. And so it's one of those deals. It's a lot that goes into it. So I tell them to go to a D2, go to another FCS school, maybe out of state. Go ball, and I'm going to call.
There you
This dude, he's 40. He's sprinkling, baby.
Holy water.
Yep.
Hey, kind of sound like
go ahead, Chico.
No, I was just gonna mess around. Go ahead.
I want to talk to you about your staff, brother, because got to meet a lot of them that were here. Well, everybody you brought got to meet. And one of the things I know Coach Prime stresses on his end is that, like, he's not going to hire a guy that's not a good father, because you can't be a father to player, father figures to players, and you're not a father to your own kids. Mm-hmm. What are some of those intangible things outside of football that you look for in selecting your staff? Because clearly you have put together a strong staff.
Man, I for me, we all have to be in alignment with football is a life-changing game. And therefore, man, we got to teach, train, and motivate these guys to be positive contributors to our world using the game of football. Now, what that is our mission statement of our program. And so before I hire you, I need to know that you're in alignment with the mission of the program, right?
In alignment.
The guys that I know that I hired, I coached them or I coach with them, so I know what they're about. The people that we didn't coach or coach with, then they've been recommended by somebody that I know or coach with because they know what I'm about and they think it would be a good fit. And then we vet that fit out. And what's been really good for me, man, I haven't done a lot of things right in this head coaching role. If I had to give myself any credit on anything, it's the fact that I think I've hired well. I think we got really good people. And I think I got Power 4 people in an FCS program. And I'm not going to be able to keep them very long because they're that good at what they do. And so, man, I'm really excited about our staff. We've added 2 new people to our staff, but ultimately, you have to be in alignment with the mission statement to help these guys and young ladies around here use football to help change their life. That's what it's about. And what we desire to do is to win championships. So when those guys go into the room, then they use that championship ring as a conversation piece because everybody loves a winner. Yeah. And so you're going to get your degree. You're going to wear your championship ring across the stage. We got them a suit. We get everybody in our program a suit so that they have an interview suit and interview ready with a pen that says Prairie View A&M. So people know not only are you educated, but you're a winner. And there's a lot of educated losers in the world. There's a lot of educated people, doctors, lawyers. They're bona fide losers. Are you a good lawyer if you done lost every case? Can't be. You're not a good lawyer, right? So you might have the degree, but people need to know you've been associated with winning. And you know how to work together with somebody for a common goal. And that's why we stress winning so much. Man, winning is a mindset. I win because we're gonna win because we that's what we say we're gonna do. And we're gonna exhaust all options. So we teach them that. And if I don't teach them that by myself, though, that comes from the staff. So we set a plan. Those guys are grateful enough to be in the program to where they send the plan down to the players. And that's kind of the similarity that I saw when I was with Coach Prime. It goes from top down, and then all the information gets disseminated amongst the people, right? And so that's when success happens, man. And so, man, you got the staff pulled up. These guys are some of the best in the country on any level. These guys in the 2 we just hired, we hired a young woman named Shay Taylor. She's coming from the University of Arkansas. She left the SEC. To be our assistant GM. Davin Agundale she's our assistant linebacker coach. This is a young lady in there coaching spills and fits and violence, and she's good at what she does. And so, man, if you can coach, if you'll disseminate the information, and here's the staff verse, right? I'm big on verses. If you have not been faithful to that which is of another man, what constitutes that you should have something of your own? That's Bible. That's Bible. And so everybody in coaching, every assistant coach always wants to be a coordinator. They want to be a head coach. They want to be this. They want to be that. Well, man, if you haven't been faithful to that which is of another man, then why would you think you should have something of your own?
Coach, let me tell you something. I'm gonna flip this thing to baseball for a second. Me and Chico, we sitting in the dugout eating sunflower seeds. Mm-hmm. We didn't see the pitch of the swing. We just heard the crack of the bat. We jumped up. We know that thing gone.
That big gone. We out the dugout.
That man.
Yeah, I mean, and that's I live by that as an assistant coach. Man, I wanted to be the best assistant. Even when I didn't agree with the head coach, at the end of the day, that man the head coach. And I signed up to do what the head coach told me to do.
Right.
And the day I didn't want to do it, I went and found me another job.
That's right.
But we have in our society, man, there's so much of, oh man, that dude don't know what he do. Man, if it was me, I'd do it this way. And so here's what we do, right? In the spring game, I don't allow the coordinators to call plays, right? Like every assistant coach has to call plays within the spring game because you get those assistant coaches in the back. Man, I don't know why we call that. Man, if it was me, I'd call X, Y, and Z. And that's the first place you see it when it comes down to game plan, because everybody knows so much more ball than everybody, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we're just trying to get the ball in the box and keep the ball out the box on the other side, right?
That's right.
And so we go through that spring game, and then we come back and watch it. And then I get to criticize why you call that play. And when you put people in a heated situation, they don't have those same thoughts when they're not in it no more. And we've done that every year, and it's helped them to grow. So instead of saying, I wouldn't have called that, now they asking coordinators, so what was the situation that made you call this?
There you go.
And now everybody's getting better, and there's no dissension in the program.
Right.
And here's the deal, man. You create spaces. If there's spaces in your program, something's going to fill those spaces, and you don't want it to be negative. So we try to stay tight and shoulder to shoulder in the program, so we don't create spaces. It could be the media, it could be the alums, it could be disgruntled players. Something gets in those spaces, and it infects your program. So we try to stay tight, man. Stay shoulder to shoulder. Don't let nothing in. Make sure we all on the same page.
I like that.
Let's go to practice. We have a couple questions in the chat. Reverend B.J. Nelson with the $2 super chat. He told me to ask, what did you think of practice?
Man, we were there on them first day of pads. And the things was in there popping. I seen some folks get run over. I ain't going to call no names and no numbers, but I seen some folks get run over. I seen some folks have some really big hits. And at the end of the day, man, this is a violent game played by violent people violently. It is what it is. And so Coach did a really good job of emphasizing it was Physical Friday. So that the players came out with a mentality and a mindset of being physical and making sure that the guys were ready to go. And I thought they answered the bell like they should with the way Coach emphasized it being Physical Friday. So, you know, they got some guys that they're getting some evaluations on. I was really impressed with the line play. The O-line play, man, those are some really big cats. Especially at center. You normally don't see big centers, right? And those guys got some really big guys on that O&D line, man. And if you can win in the line play, you can win. You can win. You can find a linebacker at Walmart. If you can find some D linemen and O linemen, man, you got a chance.
What'd you say? O-line, D-line,
quarterback,
corner, and DBs.
Yeah, and corner.
Quarterback, of course.
Yeah, quarterback and corner.
Yeah.
When Coach had Travis, it was easy. He had a quarterback, he had good D-line play, he had O-line play, and he had a corner, right? And so those are the 4 positions on the football team where you got to be not just good, you got to be really good.
Yeah, and I think, on your path to that SWAC championship, there were many games along that path that really just showed your depth in the trenches was the difference maker. There were guys still down on one knee in between plays, and y'all already up moving for the next one. So that not only having the talent, but that conditioning, to play that deep in the season.
People thought because we were 3 down, man, that they were just gonna come in and run the ball. People found out differently, and it was them 3 down can get in your grill.
Yeah,
and they were able to set some things. And then on the O-line, I think you're right, Neely, man. We condition in such a way to where when we get to the end of the game, we should be running by you. Like that is a lot of people won't condition teams. I believe in running. I believe in that, man, especially big guys. Because if you're tired and I ain't tired and I can move you, then it's going to create vertical seams, man, for us to really get downhill. And it showed up in the Grambling game. It showed up in the SWAC championship game, but we were able to run the ball.
You can say who it was. It was Jack State. They was already on my head when I picked you, so it was all.
I remember that.
Well, I'll just say this: they know who they are. They know who they are. We were able to do some things with the quarterback run game. And lean on people and really let that game get away from us. I was disappointed in the fact that we didn't win that game by more, the SWAC championship. We fumbled on the 1-yard line. I made a bad call in the middle of the field. We really should have done some things. But it was because of the O&D line play in that game that we were able to be successful.
Coach, you touched on something right there, man. I think it's a character thing. I think it's an upbringing thing. I think it's biblical and everything else you want to put into it. But you tell me, what is it about your makeup as the head coach that you will sit there and say, hey, y'all, that was on me. That I put you in the wrong situation.
Man, I think you got to be able to be vulnerable with your team. You can't say you love somebody and then not vulnerable with them. That don't make sense. I tell our team all the time how much we love them as coaches and how much they need to love each other. But the first sign of a leader, in my opinion, is to admit when he's wrong. And leaders that don't admit that they're wrong, they're not leaders. They're just selfish people in leadership. And so I just –
Man, you can smell that one. You can smell that one.
Man, listen, I didn't get here because I'm the best that ever did and never made no mistakes. I got here because I was really willing, when I made a mistake, we were willing to reevaluate and do something different if we needed to do that. And so for us, man, when there was a call in the middle of the field, it was 4th and 1, we were up 9, and I wanted to put the dagger in them right then. And the right call was for us to punt it, pin them deep, and we were playing well enough on defense to get a stop and then try to go put the dagger in them next. Well, I got caught up in the emotion. I got caught up in the they banned playing, I'm finna shut them up. I got caught up in that. Yeah. And so what happened was we went for it, didn't get it. They throw a strike down the field. Now it's a 2-point game instead of a 9-point game.
Yeah.
That was my fault. I put us in a bad situation, and the players bailed me out of it. Defensively, they came back. They didn't score anymore. And so I had to tell the players, listen, man, I put you in a bad situation, and I appreciate you for bailing me out. I'm going to be better. I'm going to be better. I mean, my mama even texted me, what were you thinking? You don't understand the environment. They was blowing our band out, and I wanted to shut them up. But that was selfish.
Yeah.
And so I had to admit to our players that was a selfish deal, man. And so for me, when they make a mistake, I expect them to acknowledge when they do something selfish and grow and get better from it. You don't judge a man by the mistakes he makes. You judge him by how he recovers. And so I always want our players to recover in a great way.
Yes, indeed. Man, hey, I'm judging y'all in the chat. If y'all haven't shared this with somebody out there, you're very selfish. If you haven't shared this with somebody you went to school with, know of, you're very selfish.
That's it, man. So it's,
Coach, you got another question from one of our loyal viewers out there, Vaughn Randall. She wants to know, what were your top takeaways from your visit out here at CU? You or your staff, what was your top takeaways?
Yeah, that there's a lot of things that they're doing at CU that we can get done. Again, the signage, the visual structures, the recruiting piece, the social media stuff that I think is phenomenal and always has been from Jackson to here. I think Coach and his social media teams have really showed us how we can affect change in people with social media free. It don't cost you nothing to sign up and get an X account or IG, right? And so getting some of those ideas, and then the thing that people don't see that I really saw when I was there and that we really took, me personally, is how Coach communicates with his staff, how he sets the expectation day in and day out with his staff. It funnels to the players and so on and so forth. For me as a head coach, man, that's something that we always struggle with, that I struggle with. Is the message getting across? Am I doing a good enough job of relaying the message to the staff? And are they doing a good enough job getting it to the players? And I think the way Coach has team meetings and the way he shows how he truly cares for guys in team meetings, that's something, man, that I challenge myself to do better at, and I challenge our staff to do better at too.
Love it.
All right. Got Northside Houston checking in. Hey, Coach, because I see some people in chat say he kind of remind me of Kendrick Perkins. You know Kendrick Perkins from Beaumont, not too far from you guys. Who are some of the guys from your area that we should know of that you might have went to school with, or just to shout outs to your area?
Yeah, man. I went to Wall Trip High School, man. And so I'm from Acres Home, but I went to Wall Trip, and Wall Trip got a few folks. The Keenan McCardell went to Wall Trip. Van Malone, who played in the league for about 9 years, went to Wall Trip. But man, really, our biggest person at Wall Trip is like the Undertaker and
really?
Patrick Swayze went to Wall Trip. He actually went to Wall Trip with my mom, man. And so just being from, it's crazy, man. Like, it was a lot of Dirty Dancing movies around our house. because of Patrick Swayze, man. So, but man, I'm from Acres Home, and it's a smaller black community on the north side of Houston. I grew up with my grandma, man, and so there's been so many influential people in my life, but people will know those people that I just mentioned because we're all from the same area.
Yeah,
Coach, I'm gonna tell you now. Give you a little bit of free game. This platform that we have put together and built, shout out to Big Dog Chico and partnered with him. Our number one market the past 2 years has been Houston, Texas.
Really?
Yeah, number one. And then we're Atlanta, Dallas, New York, Charlotte, LA, New York, Chicago. Then it goes coast to coast after that. But you look at the top five, Houston is number one, and Dallas is also in the top five. So you speaking to your footprint when you're talking.
Man, because Houston is down. I'm looking at Houston out my window, and Dallas is our largest alumni area, man. So I'm glad, man. I just appreciate you guys having me, man. This stuff is fun for me.
Man, at any time, man, across the spring, summer, of course, this fall, you want to come back, we'd love to have you. But before we let you go, one thing I want to get from you is what is next? Now we're in March, you're in spring ball as well. I think y'all on spring break right now.
Yeah, we're on spring break.
Next week. What's next for PV football throughout before you kick off your season to get back to Atlanta?
Yeah, so we're gonna close out. We'll close out quarter one, or we'll close it out next Tuesday of our season, which is winter conditioning. Get in quarter two, which is spring ball. Man, what we've got to do is we've got to evaluate the current roster. We brought 65 new players in January, and so we've got to really evaluate them, not just in shorts and t-shirts, but we got to see who's gonna hit somebody, and how they gonna hit somebody, right? And who can play football. We know who looks good. We know who can run. We need to know who can play football and then try to polish them up and get them ready for the season. Another thing we want to do is make sure we finish high academically. We've never had a winning football team in the fall that didn't have a 3.0 or better GPA in the spring. And so those two things go hand in hand for how we do it as a program, right? And so we got to make sure we find out who the football players are. We got to finish strong academically. And then we got to find some time to where we can give back to this community. Because I'm a firm believer that it'll be given back to you. And even if it's not, it's just better to give than to receive. It's called being a good person for us, right? Just being good people. We got to make sure we continue to grow good people. So when August comes, we know what we got. We getting into it a little bit faster than what we knew. A year ago, we didn't know what kind of football team we had until we played our first game. Well, we got them here for the spring. They'll be here for the summer. They'll go through fall camp. We should have a really big idea because we got to get ready for a top 5 team in the country. We're going to Tarleton State. We asked for the game. This wasn't like somebody was looking for a game. We asked for it, and we want to be an elite FCS program. And so to be able to play with those people, we got to knock these deals out as they come starting next week, man. So we're looking forward to it. I'm excited about it. A lot of new faces, but a lot of old faces too that have made a lot of plays for the Panthers.
Coach, you keep on. I be wanting to let you go, dog, but you keep on saying something. Just make me ask another one. Because let's just deal with the facts. Football is a violent sport. It's a collision sport.
Absolutely.
And sometimes there's a disconnect between violence and collisions and intellect or being a nice person. And some you touched on to get back to Atlanta, you touched on the correlation between having good people on your team, but also intelligent people on the team.
Gotta have them, man. This deal, Atlanta, getting Atlanta and playing for the national championship is a byproduct of what we've done up until then, right? Like we gotta be good people. Good people win. Yeah. You might win as a bad person every now and then, but good people win consistently. And so we got to make sure we're creative. And then if we don't have good people, that means we're not pouring into people and getting them to be good people like we say our program is going to do. So that means I lied to you. And I ain't going to lie to you. And so it's all inclusive, man, in what we're trying to do. If you're a football coach and you just coach football in the fall and during the 15 practices in spring ball, you should quit. You should quit because you're no good to the future of our society. You just coaching football because you can't play no more. And that's not good. That's not good. Everybody has an obligation as a coach to speak truth in the kids' lives, whether you play for them or not. Like that's the obligation that everybody has. And if you don't believe that, then go coach Little League where they betting over there on the side, and that's cool. But man, you're dealing with 23, 24, or 20 to 24-year-old men that at some point they ain't gonna play ball no more. And here's something neatly that we got. Man, over half our team got kids. So not only are we helping them to be better football players, we helping them to be better dads. Man, we've had kids where we've been get child support papers served to the door of the football facility. That's a real life deal, man. That kid didn't know how to deal with that. He didn't even know he had the kid. And so what do you do in those moments? That ain't got nothing to do with inside zone or cover 4. Nothing. That's got to do with real life. So, man, our job is so much bigger. We got to make sure we have good people. And that's got to be part of the deal. And here's the secret. We weren't that talented last year. We weren't that talented. When we walked out there against some people, we went, man, I wonder how much they paid for him. He sure looked good. But what we were more together, and we out-programmed people. And that's because our program is so much bigger than ball, and we had really good people that fought for one another. And when things went bad, you didn't see no throwing no helmet at our program. They wasn't cussing each other out. We've been on the other side where things were going bad for some other folks, and helmets were getting launched and people getting cussed out, and we heard. Man, our people are good people. So when good people face adversity, they use this to figure their way out. And that's what we've done here, man. And so we're excited about that. And we ain't done. It's not 100%. We got our knuckleheads, right? But that's why we coach. So we can take our knuckleheads to being CEOs, man. That's what it's about.
Coach, I'm about to give you some breaking news right here. You and Big Dog Chico. I got to chop it up with your AD, who happens to be my fraternity brother.
Oh, yeah, y'all was on that.
Notice right now. I'm gonna put you on notice right now. You have officially today become my favorite Q.
I'll take it. I'll take it. We changing the hearts and minds of Cal Alpha Psi.
Hey, Coach, he don't believe me, though. I told him that the Omegas and the Kappas recruited me coming out of high school, Coach. He don't believe me, though.
I'm telling you, man. Right now, it's funny because I tease IED all the time. Right now, the Kappas got all athletic administration and all the surrounding things on lock, but the Q's running football. The Q's is running football.
Man, we love it, man. We have had Coach Tremaine Jackson with us for the whole time of the morning run. Coach, you are welcome back, man, anytime, brother. Wishing you nothing but the best this spring and this summer as well with your kids. You touched on it some, not having that spring portal has got to help you in your evaluation because you ain't got to reset. So, man, best wishes on everything, man.
Thank y'all, man. If y'all in Houston, man, please call me and stop on by, man. We'd love to see you. And,
yes.
And
I'm
let
trying
me
to
know.
go get something to eat with you because I heard they don't charge. You know,
they ain't charging me. I ain't had to pay for nothing yet. That worked out for me last night too. I ain't paid yet. But no, man, let me know. Love to have them and host y'all. Anything I can do for y'all, let me know. Go Panthers, man.
Go Panthers. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, Coach.
Hey, man, what a morning, man. What a way to start this week off. Head coach Prairie View A&M Panthers, Coach Tremaine Jackson, a.k.a. now my favorite Q. Chico, going into week 2 here in Colorado, we got practice the next 3 days. Did not have practice today, so we got Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for 4, 5, and 6. There'll be pressers on those days as well. So y'all make sure not tomorrow. It's Tuesday. Turn that notification on because there will be a show tomorrow, starting with the pressers. Then we'll break down what happened at practice 4. Keep in mind there are 15 practices. That 15th practice is the spring game on April 11th here at Folsom Field for the free. And you can come stay at the broker Inn for 20% off. I don't know what you're waiting on, Chico.
Yes. All you got to do is say Uncle Neely sent you when you get there. You're checking in. Don't forget now. Don't be trying to, you charge your card and Uncle sent me. They already charge you now, dog. You ain't gonna get it then.
You gotta say it on the front end.
On the front end. So you get that discount on the back end. Pause.
Chico, what about Coach Jackson, man? Don't you wish you played for Coach Jackson?
Hell yeah. That's why I tried to put in a little word for the high school guys out there that might not be signed. Hey, man, you might want to go walk on over there, because if you ball out, then you could get a shot. Or if you go somewhere else, Division II, like he said, and if you ball, he will call. Or you might need to call him first and let him know and show him your film and stuff. But he'll call if you put the work in. So shout out to Coach Tremaine Jackson, man. Make you want to go play for him. But I hate to say this, but it's true. He won't be there too long, dog, unless he wants to stay there. But somebody gonna snatch him up.
Well, and the same thing he indicated about his staff. He that's what I love about him as well as Coach Prime. Like, they don't block the success of their people. Like, he acknowledged, I got a good staff. We won the championship. We're gonna do some great things. I know I'm gonna lose some of them. So that's just part of the process as people elevate. You and I addressed it head on with our own OC here, Brendan Marion, when people talked about how much he's bounced around, but it wasn't a bouncing; it was bouncing up each time.
Yeah, taking opportunity.
He wasn't going from McDonald's fries to Burger King lettuce. He was going up.
He ain't lying. I got a quick clip that I couldn't get to during the show, but this is him speaking in front of everybody at Colorado.
Run that.
All right, bet that. Here we go. Make sure we can hear it for real. All right.
Prairie View, like Coach said, at Prairie View A&M, man, we're excited. We got half our staff here, got our AD here, some support staff. We're super excited to be here to watch you guys, right? So at Prairie View A&M, we have a theme this year called Finish the Fight. We made it all the way to the Celebration Bowl, which is the Black College Basketball Championship. We were up, then we started losing, so we didn't finish the fight. That theme comes from Acts 20:24, and since you prayed, I know you guys might know something about that, right? Acts 20:24 simply says, Paul is writing, he says, I don't care about my own life. All I care about, my only aim, is to finish the race and complete the task that God gave me. And that task is simply to preach good news. And so for us, man, as a coach, I got an obligation to speak truth into your life, whether you play for me or not. And so here's the truth. Just because you were, don't mean you are. Just because you weren't, don't mean you can't be. But you got an obligation. You got a true obligation to make sure you stay locked in so you don't get locked out of the opportunity that you should be. And I look forward to watching you guys wrap it up today. Thank you.
No. We got to go back one more time.
You stay locked in, you are. Just because you weren't, don't mean you can't be. But you got an obligation. You got a true obligation to make sure you stay locked in so you don't get locked out of the opportunity that you should be. And I look forward to watching you guys wrap it up today. Thank you.
My gosh. Another gem dropped. Gotta stay locked in, huh?
Yeah. Chico, let me commend you, brother. Because the way that excellent interview started with Coach Jackson, when you had to pause yourself in the first 10 seconds, I really thought you weren't going to be able to get it back on the rails. But you paused yourself, you regathered your composure, you even took yourself out the game a second, you benched the screen, you shook it off, and you came back with the true Chico that I know you could be. So I want to just give you a shout out.
See, that's what the outside see. I didn't just go out and shake myself off. You know what? I'll take that. Forget it. I'll take it. That's what I did.
Yeah, you did good, man. Appreciate that, Mia. Like I'm looking. So we got a green room, y'all, and I can see the green room to the side. We got a camera in the green room, and I saw Chico over there like, "Oh, there you go, man. Walk it off. It was a bad play, but that don't mean you're gonna have a bad day. Just
That's a lie.
No, I just had to get some stuff straight in the background. You know what I mean? Make sure we had something to present.
I saw you.
I was shaking it off. You saw me walk around the back.
That's just me. Look at the chat. The chat saw it. Like,
yo, wow. It's all right. Yeah, it's a little bit early. Y'all saw me looking rough too. You know, you wake up, you had a puffy face. Puffy, not puffy, but the puffy face like this. Kind of swole.
Well, I'm just glad there were 2 F's and not 2 S's.
This man is.
Because last time you had the 2 S's, your throat closed up and you was in the hospital for a week. Talking about you can't do no show because you can't breathe.
Whole throat closed up on him. Oh, man.
Boy.
Appreciate y'all, man, in the chat.
Hey, don't forget now, tomorrow is Tuesday, but there will be a morning run because we got practice and we got pressers and we got show after the presses. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, that'll be 3 in a row.
It's going down the major way. We're going to talk about some NFL free agency and things of that nature also tomorrow. But for sure, stay tuned for
First, they've been busy, man.
Yeah, a lot of moves.
Got released, Super Bowl MVP going over to Kansas City. Max Crosby from the Raiders going to Ravens. Does that make the Ravens Super Bowl contenders immediately again? Got a lot to talk, man.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have given up 2 first rounds for him. You know what I mean? Looking at
what, dog? Let me tell you what happened, dog. Y'all gonna think I'm being, Joe Cowboys fan, but here's the truth. The Cowboys went after Max Crosby.
Oh yeah, I think it was several teams.
Yeah, we offered a first and a second.
Mm-hmm.
And just as they were about to go, like, okay, let's talk Cowboys. Here come these jokers with 2 firsts. Like, dog, you jacking up the price like that, man.
I think the Cowboys still have a lot of moves to make that they can make, though. Still got the ammunition to pull off those trades or whatever they need. But a lot of moves, dog. I've been actually, you won't believe this, but I said, this is what I'm gonna do I'm gonna start playing Madden, and I'm gonna start playing franchise, and I'm gonna use the Dallas Cowboys to see how can I resurrect the Cowboys. What? You want to know the first move I had to make, though? No, you don't want to know that.
I actually do.
No, it wasn't the first move, but it was the last move that I just made. I had to trade that. I didn't want to trade it, but I had to trade that. Unfortunately, dog.
It just makes no sense. That's just you.
I knew he wasn't gonna like that.
It's not even a matter of liking it, Chico. You say you go play, you get the Cowboys, you go play franchise mode, and you get rid of statistically, take Super Bowls out, the greatest quarterback the franchise ever had, leading yardage, leading in touchdowns, leading in completion percentage. It ain't his fault that he ain't got the triplets or he had this other stuff the Super Bowl teams had. But when you look at the QB stats, the Cowboys have not had a better QB.
What's
and you get the team, day one, you trade them.
Okay. Like I said, now words matter. Like you said, I didn't do it on day one. I said really the last move I just made, which is actually after the first season. So this was the last move I just made, and it was a hard move because I didn't want to trade Dak. But that contract,
what'd you get?
And look. Let me tell you, what did you say the biggest problem for Dallas? It's not the offense. It's defense.
Yeah.
So we had to invest in on the defensive side of the ball. And I actually made a move that they really made today, which was getting Rashawn Gary from the Packers. So I made that move. I got a nice defensive end. I signed Big Vita Vea, who loved
and again, okay, I'm done criticizing.
Quinn Williams there.
I'm done criticizing you. I'm trying to do like Coach Jack said. I'm trying to ask you, help me learn how to be like you. Why? So what you're telling me is you feel the offense is so strong that anybody can throw the CD Lamb. Anybody could get. So you're gonna let? All right, Chico, I'm not mad at you. I just want you to explain.
Okay, let me break it down like you said, full context, so you'll know. All right, so I went through the season with Dak. I really wanted to keep Dak, but his contract is so huge and so much cap space, right? So I looked at the backup quarterback, which is Joe Milton, which I don't think the Cowboys have a lot of confidence in right now to be the starter going into it right now. Still a project. So I brought in a veteran quarterback. I'm not going to tell you who that quarterback is because you might just get off the live right now. But I brought in a veteran another quarterback, traded for Dak, and I built around with the intentions of we're going to have a strong defense, strong running game, right? We still got CD on the outside. We can have a serviceable quarterback there for right now is my thought process because we're going to lean on the run game.
What'd you do with the other receiver?
Pickens, he left in free agency actually, so I can sign. And I let him go, and I picked up Christian Watson from the Packers. You feel me?
This dude let Dak and Pickens go.
Yeah, and we about to win. We ain't gonna be. We're not. Listen, man. Jerry Jones got so much money tied up in 3, 4, 5 people. It's crazy.
I can't wait to see how this goes. Please keep me posted.
Will do. Thank y'all for coming out. This has been another episode of TMR Live with UNK CHICO. We didn't fight too much today. But
on air.
You know
we had
what I mean?
a little scuffle before.
But he see his black eye. He got the chains on. Oh man, that video you sent me about to talk about. Say something about my mama again, dog. You say something about my mama. You say
Hey, and then how quick they made up with the dog mess with the liquor.
And then it ended like, he my mama too, dog. What you doing? Hey man, thank y'all for coming out once again. I'm gonna say that for the last time today. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button. Y'all read that ticker down below and use all of those things down there. Shout out to Miss Denise Smith, State Farm agent out in Boulder, where it's colder. Go to safetysmith.com and deal with her and get you some, you know what I mean? Some great insurance coverage on car, home, auto, life, whatever it is. Holler at her, 303-343-3515. You understand me? Unc.
Yes, sir.
We're going to get up out of here, man.
Let's do it.
All right. Thank y'all for coming out. Y'all have a blessed day. See y'all tomorrow. Peace in the Middle East. Yeah, y'all. You bitch know you. Chico picked up Joe Flacco.
Chico, who'd you pick up for a quarterback?
I can't tell you.